Welcome back to the Value Investors Club. I'm your host, Simon Wunderlich. Let's get right into it with VIC readings, the format where we look at the best of the best value investment recommendations out there by the best of the best value investors. Today we have CERAGON Networks, LTD, CRNT. Description. We recently established a position in CRNT and thought it would be helpful to focus on the Aviate special situations dynamic here. Please see Jason's 33's very informative write up from last June for a better understanding of CRNT's business. Despite its share price being down 50% from the time of that write up and near its historical 1x book value floor, see graph below, fundamentals are set to inflect in front of a multi year 5G tailwind. This attractive runway was recently validated via a hostile takeover attempt by a key competitor. Aviate Networks, AVNW. While AVNW is the leader in North American backhaul, CRNT is now encroaching on its territory. Having secured contracts with all the majors NA mobile and network operators, including Dish, AVNW's proxy fight was clearly an attempt to use the difficult equity market environment to scoop up an undervalued asset, but their offer price at $3.08 a share, 71% above the current share price, highlights how grossly the market is misvaluing CRNT. While not expecting a deal to be consummated, a bid-ask seems too wide. Renewed talks between AVNW and CRNT present the potential for near-term upside realization of CRNT shareholders. Regardless, the fundamentals of CRNT's business appear sound enough to reward medium-term shareholders. While we're negative on the overall macro, CRNT represents a mispriced small cap stock exacerbated by tax loss selling and the AVNW dynamics. AVNW situation. On June 27th, 2022, AVNW went public with a hostile proposal to acquire CRNT for $2.80 per share in cash. In connection with this offer and their buildup of a 5% stake in CRNT, AVNW called for an EGM to propose the removal of certain CRNT board members and the election of a slate of AVNW's selected directors. AVNW stated that they had been unable to come to an acceptable agreement with CRNT board and management and thus were taking the matter directly to shareholders. On August 2nd, 2022, AVNW increased its offer to $3.08 per share, including 28 cents of consideration in AVNW shares. The EGM was held on August 23rd, 2022, and CRNT holders rejected AVNW's lowball bid. Unfortunately, though, the stock prices has since fallen back meaningfully as a result of the market volatility and the likely exciting of AVNW's 5% position. We ultimately don't expect a deal to get done between the two companies because the bid ask seems too wide. In response to the takeover battle, CRNT published their internal fair value estimate of $5 per share. And based on our discussions with CRNT's CEO, it seems that the company is unwilling to sell out when they feel the underlying business momentum is so strong. Ultimately, an all-stock deal makes the most sense to bridge the bid-ask gap, but it feels as though AVWN was opportunistically trying to get a good asset on the cheap. Since 8th 23 2022, CRNT has continued to press release new customer contracts, keeping the ask high. That being said, we do think the AVNW proxy fight does serve to highlight some fundamental trends in the industry. AVNW is primarily a vendor to US network operators, but also has a sizable presence in private cellular networks. But CRNT's R&D has been paying off, and they have now secured deals with every North American Tier 1 operator. They have also secured a deal with Dish for its 5G network rollout. Further, CRNT also plays in the private cellular network space, recently press releasing a rip and replace deal with California Water Utility. CRNT is clearly encroaching on AV&W's territory, and the timing of AV&W's proxy fight makes sense in terms of recent CRNT business momentum. Finally, according to our conversations with industry experts, AV&W does not have a front haul solution, but has a very compelling backhaul solution. There's no reason to think that AV&W can't develop a front haul solution, but as of now, CRNT is the first mover. While US operators are busy competing with each other and lighting all the new spectrum they have purchased, international operators are still densifying 4G before they get to 5G. AV&W's revenue is 66% in North America compared to 16% for CRNT. By purchasing CRNT, AV&W would not only protect its US position but provide a longer growth runway internationally. Third, one of AV&W's criticisms of CRNT was CRNT's strategy of internal chip design and development. AV&W utilizes Max Linear for its chip design and has seemed to face fewer delays in tape out of new products. But the fact that CRNT is taking share in North American indicates its internal chip R&D is creating value, while the supply chain environment has been on an exogenous, not an idiosyncratic factor. It would s- wouldn't simply it wouldn't necessarily be seamless to shift all of CRNT's product to a new chip design. Plus, having to migrate all of the software, which is why we view this AV&W's criticism as simply a ploy to influence less sophisticated investors. All in all, we believe the AV&W's proxy battle served to legitimize CRNT's fundamentals and business strategy. While we're not expecting a deal to get consummated, it's absolutely possible CRNT and AV&W are negotiating behind the scenes on a fair price. Absent a deal, CRNT shareholders did get some positive changes from the fight. Number one, post EGM, CRNT announced the resignation of a current non independent director and nominated new independent director to the board. This new director nominee has both industry experience as well finance and accounting experience. Second, in August 22, CRNT brought on a new CFO who has 20 years of CFO experience as well as M&A experience from the buy and the sale side. The most important thing CRNT can do post proxy fight is to ensure they are focused on driving shareholder value. Our conversations with the CRNT CEO confirm this focus. This focus should encompass free cash flow generation as well as taking actions to ensure the stock price reflects fair value. We believe the proxy battle has served to put the onus on CRNT management to get the stock price above AV&W's buyout price of $3.05 per share at a minimum. Catalyst: potential AV&W deal. Freight improvement plus 5G tailwinds equals EPS upgrades. Renewed management focus on FCF generation. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you next time. This is not a recommendation, not advice. Please do your own diligence before investing into anything.